hump day. It's that day where we push forward, where we charge it, where we go conquer and move forward and climb mountains and see mountain move and like slay dragons. And it is conquer time. So look, last week we talked about faith shape, how to get in great faith shape. We talked about head, heart, hands, and we kind of put that in the frameworks of how to overcoming that limiting belief of fear and how we had to grow our faith or our willingness to take risk in order to accomplish that, move past fear and reach our goals, our aspirations, our hopes, see life, relationships, leadership. Things change and shift. So we talked quite a bit about that. And the reality is, growth is not easy, right? If we were all going to reach our potential, if everyone's going to live their best life and make it a maximum impact in others, it's going to take growth and it's not easy. Otherwise, more people would do it. But look, you signed up, you're ready to go, you're ready to move forward. And so today we are talking about conquering self doubt. Yeah, it's another one of those limiting beliefs, beliefs that limit growth, opportunity, and things that would move forward in our lives. So we're going to get into that today. And the truth is, we kind of choose our beliefs. It's one of these great big growth zones I talk about, the power of beliefs that we have to self master. We have to grow through. We have to understand the beliefs we're choosing in a situation, in adversity, in relationships, the beliefs we're choosing that either power us forward, push us backward, or just keep us stuck and stagnant. So today, conquering self-doubt, really three things. And I love that number three, right? Number three is an impactful unity-based number. And we're going to talk about three ways to actually overcome self-doubt, even that imposter syndrome. We're going to talk about the grasshopper. So grasshopper, grasshopper, grasshopper. We're going to share a grasshopper story from the coach's perspective that will help you see with clarity how to overcome self-doubt and move into your promised land. And then three, challenge, encourage you, motivate you, push you towards your best, push you towards growing forward so you see the change, the transformation, and you get to your dreams and goals and what you're trying to accomplish in your journey. So let's start with self-doubt. Whew. I think we've all wrestled with that. And I think it's 100% success rate that 100% of people are going to have to battle self-doubt. There's no vaccine. You can't get two shots of it and it goes away. Like every day we wake up, we're going to have to look in that mirror, and more than once in a day and many times during a month or a year, we're going to have to face self-doubt. We're going to have to say, gosh, how are we going to attack this? How are we going to conquer it? Because self-doubt will limit our outcomes. It'll limit our opportunities. It'll limit us from moving forward into our future, into our promised land. So self-doubt, I can tell you even this journey, how my own personal experience has been filled with self-doubt. So starting and building and growing this growth time platform with the hope that it's going to impact many people and help shift and change the direction of their life and their course. Like that sounds great, but every day you wake up and I wake up, I'm like, man, the voices come, right? The voice that says, are you good enough? Do you have what it takes? Really, can you get there? You know what? That's not for you. No one really cares. And self-doubt just is out there. And then you deal with sometimes the imposter syndrome. Like even though you've got skills and abilities, sometimes you feel like they don't measure up. You still feel the sense of inadequacy, that you're not good enough, even though maybe you've had some success or get great feedback. So this big bucket of self-doubt just kind of hovers. And the questions, the voices keep coming. And you have the thought of what the result of it is when we live in self-doubt. Like we don't reach our potential. We get stuck. Like self-doubt causes this whole theme to emerge where we're not confident, we're not secure in our decisions. We don't actually go for it. We retreat, we pull back. We don't actually launch out. We think we can't do it, we'll never do it. And what's worth it? Is it worth it? Is it going to make a difference? So we see this, the pain sometimes of self-doubt, we don't end up to our destination. Like we don't end up where we desiring and really hope to truly go. And so really, let's start with the three things. Let's go through three ways, and there's many symptoms and many solutions, but really I'm going to give you some medicine, like some medicine thoughts here that I've seen work in my own life that I continue to practice and master so that I can break through my own doubts and concerns. And then I've seen other people have tremendous success in these three really medicines for the pain. Number one is it starts in your mind, like your mindset, like how you're viewing yourself. Now that sounds simple, sounds easy, like duh. Yeah, I realize it's self and it's self-doubt. It's how I'm viewing myself. But it's really about how you view your situation where you are now. See, what tends to happen is we think we have to arrive or have arrived in a situation or in life or in a place. And that therefore then puts us in our mind of we've got to perform to a certain level or a certain place. And that can be hard. That could be a weight. That could be a burden. So, what we have to realize is that it is a mindset that we are always growing. Fun with it, but it is growth time. If we take that mindset that we are growing, and when self doubt creeps in, instead of saying, oh, I can't do it, I'm not sure if I can do it, I don't know if I can get over there, I don't know if I'm good enough, I don't know if I'm valuable enough, the response in our mind has to go, whoop, it's growth time. I'm going to grow through this. I'm going to progress. I'm going to see shifts and changes. I don't have to arrive in life. I just got to continue to grow through my life and grow through my leadership and grow through that journey. That is number one. It's a big bucket, but it's something you can share, speak to your mind, and develop that mindset that will start to conquer, help you overcome self doubt in any given circumstance. Number two, clear vision. Like you got to play offense and having a clear vision, almost like a one sentence purpose plan for your life, helps become like a North Star. And so when self doubt creeps in, if you're not sure you can get to your destination, if you're not sure you can see that shift or change, and you're not sure if it's worth it, keep your North Star, your purpose statement, like a short purpose vision statement for your life. Keep it in your frame. Use that as a guide, as a North Star to overcome your self doubt. And then there's also the other concept with coach, with the divine coach, with God, is his purpose for your life. It can be like an anchor, like a true rooted anchor, so that when adversity comes, when self doubt creeps in, and you want to get in that emotional roller coaster of life, you have like an anchor. So that clear vision for you as a person and that clear understanding that coach and God can be that anchor will stabilize. It will completely stabilize how you feel about yourself and what you can and can't do and not limit you. Now, number three is where I want to spend some time because this is the most important part. This part of self declarations, like declaring the word. And what I mean by declaring the word is our tongue has so much power to steer our course, to steer our life, to move us in a direction. And I'll give you some framework of it. There's a great proverb that says, the power of life and death is in the tongue. The power in life and death is in the tongue. The book of James says it's like this. He uses an analogy that your tongue's like a rudder on a ship. Small, but it totally steers the course of the direction you head and the outcomes in your life. Even from the God perspective, you see that God's word is quick and powerful and sharper than a two-edged sword, and that's in Hebrews. So there's power, there's strength, there's a mechanism to conquer and overcome self-doubt with the power of our words. Heck, even if you look at it, of all the superpowers and Avengers out there, Coach, God has this greatest, the most powerful gift in that he just speaks the word and it happens. It's how the earth was made. God could have thought about it, he could have penciled it out, but he spoke it. He spoke it into existence. Let there be light. Let there be earth. Let there be people. He spoke it out into existence. And that's powerful because there's power in the spoken word. So, how does that apply to us in self doubt? Well, this is where we have to voice our words. We have to declare it. We have to declare our strengths and gifts. It may sound odd, it may sound funny, but thoughts in our mind are great. The power of our words will steer our ship. So, maybe awkward, but get in front of that mirror. Get in front of yourself and start declaring your strengths and your gifts that you possess here on earth, like the things that you're great at, the things you're good at, and just declare and verbalize them. I've seen some people literally write them down and put them on a mirror and wake up and declare it. It's how you're going to build some strength, some overcoming self confidence that will move you past self doubt. And then the second part of that, if that's how we humanly see ourselves with certain strengths and gifts, we have to look how coach sees us. Because the reality is, coach always sees his players from a different lens, from a different perspective. He sees them to be doing more they can do and overcome their situation in a way that we sometimes can't because we're locked into what we're working through or what we're dealing with. That's why they're halftime speeches. Like when coach gives a halftime speech, he's out there trying to move and speak and encourage his team past the adversity, past their self-doubt, and go out and kick butt and win that opponent and win that game. So same thing, if we can get coach's perspective and start declaring how coach and how really God sees us and God's viewpoint on us, and we can just start declaring his word and his truth over our life, man, we start to see self-doubt, we start to see inadequacies, we start to realize that, man, we are secure and significant in his eyes, and those words have tremendous power. So that declaration is a huge part. People call it self-affirmations, affirm yourself, and that's awesome. But I look at it twofold. Affirming your strengths and gifts that you're able and capable here on earth to build your confidence and get past any imposter syndrome, and declaring how coach, how God sees you. Tremendous result, tremendous shift. So look, I threw out the notion about grasshopper. So I'm going to quickly tell the story of grasshoppers, because what does grasshoppers have to do with overcoming self-doubt and that limiting belief? Well, years ago, and this is historical context, there was a group of slaves that were in bondage. They got out of slavery, over 1 million+ people, and they were on the verge of entering into their promised land. And this can be found in the account, in the historical account in the book of Numbers. It's the nation of Israel getting out of bondage, getting out of slavery, and then having to shift and change and believe in order to get to their land of promise. And it was really interesting because in that journey, Moses sent out 12 spies into the land. Joshua sent out 12 spies into the land to kind of see what it would take or what the land would look like. And out of those 12, 10, yes, 10 came back and were like, nah, we're not big enough. We're not strong enough. We can't possibly do this. We might as well just stay exactly where we are because this is a mess. This is a disaster. We're out here. We left slavery, but there's no way we can go forward. And yeah, their head was down. Their emotions were strapped. They had lost themselves in self-doubt and belief in their coach. But what they said to the congregation, what they said, the report came back, is that they're too big, they're too strong. We are like grasshoppers in our own eyes. We're like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and that's how they see us too. It's that grasshopper effect. We can overcome by self-doubt and how we view ourselves and how we view coach's ability to move us forward. We stay stuck. We don't move forward, and we begin to have this internal anxiety and stress because self-doubt is a killer belief that prevents all of us from moving forward in life. So that grasshopper effect, the way out of it, the way through it, is just those simple three parts. A growth time mindset, having a clear vision for you and how God views your life, and then use the power of your tongue. Start declaring your strengths and your gifts. Start declaring his word and his power and his truth and how God sees you and coach sees you on his team. And you're going to begin to break through. And that's just day to day. Not allowing self-doubt to rule you, not letting self-doubt to reign you, but understand, how am I going to conquer it? There's no vaccine. We are all facing it day by day, and we're all going to have to conquer it. So that's some feedback, that's some thought. My encouragement or challenge for you is that you move forward. You take these three simple components and you put them in effect. Growth isn't easy, but if you're wanting to get to your promised land, if you're wanting to see that shift and change, if you're wanting a better hope, more tomorrow, you're looking for that land where there's more joy, there's more love, there's more character strength in you for you to show up each day, your vision's greater, you're getting more results, your authority's growing, all those things about living that growth life we've talked about. Man, kick self-doubt in the rear. Kick it in the butt. Say, wake up, have that framework, and go be great. Go take it and put it into practice. Your future, your legacy, everything's on the other side. Your land of promise. You can do it. You can beat it. You can conquer it. I'm going to continue to try to conquer it. It is on. Let's kick it in the tail and overcome it this week. So that is it. Hey, I'm Coach Q. Man, it's growth time. I'm signing out. Go crush it this week. Woo! Growth time.